Every console has its kind of perks and kind of things that really shine and make it special. Obviously, when it comes to Nintendo, they have a platform that is, handheld. That's something that they really kind of hang their hat on. They also have, something of, a great library of first party exclusive games. Not only do they have that, but they just in general have a lot going for themselves. When it comes to Sony, they obviously have that awesome solid state drive. It's the best one in any console currently. Not only do they have that, but they also have the adaptive triggers and stuff that you could say that they have the most well put together controller, with the haptic feedback and all that kind of stuff. It is really cool to see that. And if you've never used it, if you just want to call me a fanboy or whatever, I get it. I'm not a PlayStation fanboy, trust me. But what I'm trying to say is it's a feature. They have features with that make it an unbelievable experience. Like, let's say you're using a bow and arrow, the tension is there when you feel it, or if a gun gets jammed, you feel it's like you can't pull the trigger. They really do a good job with it, and it's really cool. I like the Xbox Series X as well, but there's not really a platform specific feature that has people losing their minds or whatever. So you have to kind of keep that in mind as well. Now, in this particular instance, I found this to be interesting because this was the big worry for me in the first place, and this definitely gives Sony bragging rights over Microsoft, which I thought was kind of funny. But I want to get into the video. Should be a fun one. What's up, everybody? I'm Crap Gamer. This is Crap Gamer Reviews with another video. Thank you so much for checking it out. I certainly appreciate it. If you guys wouldn't mind, slap that like button, and consider subscribing. I think that would be pretty kick ass. So, you guys can subscribe, share it out, all that kind of cool stuff. And then, let me know what you think of the videos. Hopefully you guys enjoy the videos because I put some work into them and things like that. But anyway, this was interesting because you guys know, and I was firmly against this, well, guess what? It looks like games are starting to end up better on competing platforms that are Microsoft's own games. Do you guys find that to be a little bit weird or not? To me, that is pretty much unexpected and, if I must say, unacceptable, right? Like, if you're Microsoft, how can you have your own first-party games having these specific features on other platforms and things? I honestly don't understand the thought process that Microsoft is giving. And, again, I think that we have to, we'll wait and see what the end result ends up being with stuff like this. But I can't imagine that it's good for, morale of Xbox workers or Xbox fans. And so hopefully we get some kind of news as to why this keeps happening and why they keep going that extra mile. It's funny that Microsoft goes that extra mile to include all this stuff for PlayStation, but they don't really seem to do much for Xbox in terms of their own stuff. Like, a lot of times their games will be janky or have some kind of issue, almost right away. So, I really think that this is the time where we can start to see, some interesting kind of things going back and forth for Microsoft. I would like to see them do something a little bit different. So in this instance, Grounded just got a big update on not only PS5 but Switch that gets unique features. The interesting additions, however, are unique to Sony and Nintendo consoles, with the latter now supporting gyro aiming and the PlayStation 5 getting official adaptive trigger support. So, unlike both Sony and Nintendo, Microsoft's Xbox controllers are relatively simplistic pieces of hardware, missing contemporary functions such as haptics, a gyroscope, speaker, microphone, and more. As such, despite the disparity between the systems, it's very encouraging, according to this article, to see Xbox Studios implementing these console-specific features. So again, I find it to be a little bit weird. That to me is, like I said, and I've mentioned this a few times before, kind of a little bit unacceptable, so to speak. I feel like Microsoft needs to kind of keep things going a certain way, and if they don't, then I don't know what to say. I mean, it's like, yeah, I think Game Pass is cool. I don't mind buying my games though, and outside of that, it's like, we look at these things and we go, okay, well, what does the future hold for gamers and things like that when stuff like this keeps happening, right? Like if Xbox cannot figure out how to make games run and be appealing to Xbox fans, then why should Xbox fans care at all? Like that is honestly sort of how I look at this myself. And I would love to see how they would respond to this, or if anybody would hold kind of the foot to the flame, so to speak, and and see what's up, because I think that, yeah, we could see some interesting things happen, but at the same time, I feel like Microsoft is really kind of just allowing whatever nonsense they want to happen, and they don't really care about the repercussions. So I think that is a super negative side effect for sure. And again, we really need Microsoft to kind of step up and explain why they're allowing these games to be better elsewhere. And I hate to just be come across as like a hater or something, because that's not what I'm trying to do. But what I'm trying to say is that Microsoft has fans, and they should definitely do something to make sure that all these fans are happy and things like that. Like honestly, like why not make fans happy? Why not why not make things a little bit easier? Make sure that these games are best on your own platform. What point is there to owning an Xbox if you can't get better games and things like that for it? And again, this is a big bonus for Sony, because Sony could be like, hey, you know what? Yeah, we play Xbox games on PlayStation, and they actually play better. So again, it's a weird situation that they find themselves in, and it's one that I don't know how they can get out of. But hey, bravo to Sony for locking down all these games and things, and kind of having all this stuff to kind of talk about, these talking points. I know it seems like a small thing, and I know some people would go, who cares about that or whatever. And yeah, there's hardcore fanboys or whatever that'll pretend like, oh, well, who really cares about that? But I do think that, people do care about that stuff. People do care about, playing these games better and things like that. So hopefully things will continue to improve for Microsoft or whatever, but in the meantime, it's like every turn sees Sony kind of have some kind of advantage over Xbox, and I want to see that kind of come to an end before too long. So anyway, that's kind of my hope. What do you guys think about stuff like this, though? I mean, it wasn't just that this game is getting exclusive PlayStation features that aren't available on Xbox. It's like 3 of the 4 games that they ported are games that realistically perform better on PlayStation 5, and that's just a base PlayStation 5. Imagine what the PS5 Pro would kind of look like and do. I think it's going to be a very interesting situation. So I hope that things kind of work out for the best. But again, I'm not exactly like, oh man, this is for sure going to be a great thing or whatever. I think honestly that it's going to take a lot of patience, and people gotta understand that Microsoft is a company that only cares about money, and they honestly do not care about feelings at all of the fans, because obviously if they did, they wouldn't be kind of putting the fans through the stuff that they do. So with that being said, how do you guys feel about this? Is it a big deal to you that these games are better on PlayStation and possibly even Switch? Like I said, I think it's an interesting topic. Maybe you guys don't really care about it, but I certainly think that it is something that Microsoft needs to kind of address sooner rather than later, and make sure that Xbox is like the de facto place to play every Xbox game. Like you have the world's most powerful console, but you make the console have better resolution and performance on PlayStation. That's crazy. Anyway, thanks for watching. Have a great day. Rack 'em up, fact 'em up, Crep Gamer 'em up, Crep Gamer out.